Ladies and gentlemen, so the patch notes for Marvel Contest of Champions patch 20.1 have just dropped on the official Marvel Contest of Champions website and also the forum, and we have this wonderful new promotional image of this kind of new Symbiote corrupted Doctor Strange, which I believe, along with Symbiote corrupted Howard, are going to be the two new playable characters next month. We also have the headline that Carnage and also Venom, the buffs for those characters, are going to be going live on Monday, so this is fantastic news, man. I thought with the beta we might have to wait like a couple more weeks for the buffs, or maybe even till the next patch, but yeah, that's great news for anybody that's got a 5-star Carnage or Venom, that those characters are going to be buffed from when this patch goes live on Monday. But also, with all these patch notes, we have a few other things to pick apart as well. So we're going to summarize it, and also a bit of an unexpected change, and also buff to Juggernaut, which did surprise me a little bit, which we'll talk about in a second. So just to go over everything that is going to be landing kind of with this patch. So the first thing we have is the Blood and Venom Symbiote monthly event quest, and again, this is going to feature a brand new difficulty of Symbiote level difficulty, which you're going to get a Symbiote for. If you didn't already check out the kind of Symbiote video or the post, essentially next month we are going to get on the Tuesday like a 1-star Symbiote, which when fully upgraded to rank 5 and doing 100% uncollected, you get all the materials to fully upgrade this dude, is going to be 30% more powerful than a 6-star champion at rank 2. So 30% more powerful in terms of base stats than the highest tier characters we have at the moment, plus you can use some absolutely crazy beyond god tier buffs on it for the Symbiote difficulty, and they have also confirmed that the rewards for uncollected are going to be the same as they always are. The name for uncollected is going to be epic next month, because it's not going to require you to kill the collected to do. So hopefully with this new god tier character, it's also going to be substantially easier to get uncollected. So yeah, it could be crazy for the rewards next month. But if it's a level beyond uncollected, and the uncollected rewards, you know, you got 25% of a 6-star champion, you've got 7,500 5-star shards. For Symbiote difficulty, I'm kind of expecting like half a 6-star and maybe like 2 5-star characters. And quite a good chunk of tier 5 basic and also tier 2 alpha. But also in terms of the text, Doctor Strange has not been seen since the events of Infinity War left him without his mystical powers. Guillotine has also not been seen since well before then. The Battle Realm has been unusually quiet, with whispers of a stirring presence emerging in the darkness of the unknown reasons. The mysterious force doesn't take long to show itself, a sorcerer supreme from a different dimension seeking more power with far less prudence, opened their prison and willingly bonded with a symbiote, imprisoned long ago in the forbidden territories by the Grand Master, helped Guillotine, Doctor Strange, and unlikely ally Venom take down the symbiotic sorcerer in the Blood and Venom Symbiomancer quest. So yeah, I hope this new character has some really badass animations. It'd be really nice to see if he was a mystic character as well. I love Doctor Strange's animations, but also, like, very justly so, like, Doctor Strange does need a buff. So I don't want this, like, new Doctor Strange just to be, like, old school Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange has been one of the most unfairly treated characters in the history of Marvel Contest of Champions. So essentially the point I'm trying to make here is buff Doctor Strange, because he's a shadow of his former self, and he doesn't need to be. Then we've got Occult Laboratories, which we haven't heard of yet, but they seem kind of like a mixture of MODOK's Lab and Trials of the King. So dark experiments in symbiote evolution fused with forbidden magics have paved the way to the great power wielded by the Symbiote Supreme. Now, the Foul Magister has created several bases from which he plans to expand his dark influence over the Battle Realm, dismantle his evil establishments and the corrupt denizens, but beware the multitude of unpredictable buffs that he will use to oppose you. So I assume, again, it's going to be like MODOK's Lab. The power of the randomizer will allow you a chance to reroll the buffs on your opponents, but be wary you do not make them any stronger. So yeah, hopefully the rewards are pretty good for Occult Laboratories. And then finally we have, again, what we were talking about earlier, the My Little Symbiote. So you can basically power this dude up via the monthly event quests, and he's going to be very powerful, and you're going to need him for the symbiote difficulty. But we've done a video and a lot of talking about that already. And then we have some bug fixes, changes, and improvements. So, fixed an issue where champions would get stuck mid-animation and remain that way, fixed an issue where Mystic Dispersion was not properly being affected by ability accuracy reduction, and various performance and stability improvements. Fingers crossed for those ones, eh? Character fixes and improvements. Angela, there's nothing like too potent there. Again, the Carnage and Venom buffs are going through, and if you want to have a little bit of a look at exactly how affected some of those characters are, I know myself, I've got a couple of videos up on the channel, but also Legacy as well has some great videos, but there are quite a lot of good videos. But Carnage and Venom, just in comparison to a lot of other characters in the game, they see, if you're, you know, taking my tier list as a comparative example, like they are probably going to be like high demigod tier champions. That's kind of the region they look around. Maybe low demigod, but I need to do a little bit more testing. And maybe when it comes to longer fights, because Carnage is a bit of a ramp up champion, because he can keep going and going and going once he gets those buffs. So yeah, I think Carnage is going to be great for Labyrinth of Legends, and Venom is going to be great for a lot of utility and stuff like that. But overall, both characters, they look so much more fun to play and significantly more useful, and the buffs look really, really good for both of them. So yeah, absolutely buzzing for that. Doctor Strange. So there's this fix to Doctor Strange where Doctor Strange's counterspell was not removing all buff types. So I'm not too sure if that means Doctor Strange is going to be able to strip down stuff like, you know, Infinity War Iron Man and his auto block now. Sorry, his like armor up buffs to make his auto block significantly less effective. But I'm interested to see if that interaction is going to work and how Doctor Strange is going to look. But still, hashtag buff Doctor Strange. He definitely needs it. Dr. Voodoo fixed an issue where Dr. Voodoo was not triggering Mystic Dispersion when converting lowers with a special 2 attack. So yeah, that's nice for Dr. Voodoo. Apparently there was an issue with Emma Frost where she was not immune to Cold Snap while in her diamond form, and also fixed an issue causing Emma Frost's heavy attack range to be larger than it should have been. Now this is the slightly weird thing about Juggernaut, the slight buff, which is very important to keep in mind if you are going against Juggernaut in Alliance War. So when unstoppable, if Juggernaut is stunned, Juggernaut will now remove the stun debuff and apply his heavy attack stagger debuff to the opponent. So I'm not too sure. I think in terms of like static content and stuff like Alliance Quest, I don't think this buff to Juggernaut is going to go through, but in stuff like Alliance War and any new content, it might do. So existing content, I believe all champions' abilities are locked in that and they don't get changed. That might only be for Realm of Legends and Labyrinth of Legends, but yeah, just something to be aware of is that basically you can't stun Juggernaut now in the majority of scenarios to get kind of an additional like couple of hits in during that interval, because that will backfire and it will also stagger you, which causes the next buff to trigger on you to not trigger, essentially. And also the chance to apply stagger from Juggernaut's heavy attack has been increased from 90% to 100%. Also, King Groot fixed an issue where King Groot's poison inflicted from a special attack 2 was not scaling correctly with his attack modified rating. So yeah, King Groot actually might be a little bit stronger now. I doubt he's still going to be anywhere close to good, but hey, he might be a little bit better. Also, Korg fixed an issue where Nightcrawler was able to apply his deep wounds. Medusa fixed an issue where the expiry of her signature ability Fury buffs was only triggering Mystic Dispersion once, regardless of the number of buffs expiring. So yeah, basically Medusa bad against Mystic champions, but I assume quite a few people knew that. Fixed an issue with Rhino's unblockable text not appearing against anything other than XL champions. This one's quite humorous. She-Hulk fixed an issue where 5-star She-Hulk signature ability was providing a positive effect to the opponent as opposed to the stated negative effect. Wow, 10 out of 10 there. Kabam. Good job getting on that one, though. And also, 4Jane Foster fixed an issue where she was able to indefinitely charge her heavy attack. And then finally, we have kind of all the Venom buffs. Lots of really good stuff for Venom's utility there. I've seen great stuff from Venom in the beta, so yeah, I'm so excited for the Venom and Carnage buffs. But one little interesting thing now, which again kind of stems from this, because the next 2-month characters appear to be this brand new like symbiote version of Doctor Strange, and also Howard the Duck, looking at all this promotional stuff. So who is this new mysterious celestial gladiator? Now, we need to give a massive shout out to Tim Rosa, who is a member of the Marvel Contest of Champions community, both on Reddit, and also he's a very active participant on the channel. But he knows his Marvel stuff, man. And Marvel Contest of Champions, as you may be aware, the really big baddies at the moment seem to stem from the Elders of the Universe. You know, the Collector one is one of the Act 5 bosses, the Grandmaster is kind of the Master of Ceremonies. So who's going to be potentially our next Act 6 boss? Maybe who to look out for? And the theory at the moment is that it is Trico-Slatterus, who is one of, also, I believe, known as the Eternal Gladiator. I think that's kind of his nickname. He's quite an old Marvel character, and again, a lot of the renditions of him are from quite some time ago, but there appears to be quite a few things that match up. Again, the helmet is a bit of a newer addition, but again, this is a significantly modern-day version, supposedly, of this Elder of the Universe. And again, here's kind of a, picture of some of the Elders of the Universe here. Again, the updated bell. I don't know, it does look quite familiar, and we have the Grandmaster and the Collector there, so I wouldn't say it's unlikely that Marvel Contest of Champions are going to introduce another Elder of the Universe who might potentially have something to do with the storyline coming in Act 6. But yeah, if you want to have a look at the Champion of the Universe, or Trico-Slatterus, who again, this is just pure speculation at the moment, but I think it is relatively likely that we could see him as one of the antagonists of Act 6 and MCOC. So yeah, I really like that theory. That's my favourite one at the moment, because I just cannot imagine what other Marvel character it might be. And with the artwork seemingly to confirm that Symbiote, Doctor Strange, and also Howard the Duck are going to be the two new characters next month. Again, we don't know that for 100% certain. I assume at New York Comic Con in 6 days' time, we're going to find a little bit more about who this mysterious gladiator might be. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching today's video. Again, if you did enjoy it, feel free to smash that like button. Aside from that, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.